it is now the 1st of January 2024, so Happy New Year. It's also a Monday, so what better time to start a vlog? It's also the very first day of our FNAF readathon and also adventurathon. Adventurathon is a choose your own adventure readathon run by Beth Bookish. You start at the guild hall and you have to choose a book based off the vibes you get from the tables that are there. So you are pretending that you are a warrior or a mage or one of the characters from the previous round, but you don't have to have participated in the previous rounds. You can just start from fresh. So for me, I'm going for table 3, which is the outdoorsy type. So I need a book that features animals and is set outside. So for me, I'm going to go with Fablehaven by Brandon Mull. This one is, for centuries, mythical creatures were gathered into a hidden refuge called Fablehaven to prevent their extinction. The sanctuary is one of the last strongholds of true magic. Enchanting? Absolutely. Exciting? You bet. Safe? Well, actually, quite the opposite. So I'm excited to read this one. I also started this a little bit in bed last night, so it's the very first prompt for FNAFathon. So yeah, so that's brilliant. So also, because I never have just one book on the go, and I like to do diamond art, or if I'm cleaning the house because it's super boring, obviously I like to have an audiobook on. So for that, I have London Seance Society by Sarah Penner. I'll put a picture up here, and I'll be starting that. So yeah, so I'll let you know how that goes. Hello, it is now Wednesday the 3rd of January. I don't actually think it's stopped raining for the entire year so far. But apart from that, I have finished 3 books. Not a single one that I told you about at the beginning of this vlog though. The first one I finished was The Winter Man by Andrew David Barker. I'll put a picture up here. This follows Penny, who's worried if Santa will come, and then she hears a noise outside her window. And when she looks outside, she sees a sleigh crash landing and she meets the mysterious Winterman. That follows that. That was a 4-star read. It was very good. It was a bit short though, but it is a middle grade. Another quick one that I finished was a graphic novel. It was The Nightmare Before Christmas, 13 Days of Christmas. This is the traditional 12 Days of Christmas song, but with a Nightmare Before Christmas twist, and obviously 13 being a lucky number. And then the last one that I finished so far is Rescuing the Titanic. This is a fun, it's informative. It's fun with the pictures, but obviously it's not a fun topic. So it's got plenty of pictures in it. It's a children's non-fiction all about the Titanic and the Carpathia, the ship that rescued the survivors. Really quick read, but interesting nonetheless. So those are those books. I'm only about 5% into the London Seance Society by Sarah Penner. I'm enjoying it so far, but obviously I need to get a move on with my reading, so. But I'll do that with some diamond art, and I'll update you later. Bye! This is the flooding. That should be a field behind the church. And over there, where that tree is submerged, let me see if I can try and find there, that one, that's the River Trent there. Hello, it is now Saturday afternoon. I need to give you a bit of an update. I'm finding that this reading vlog is, well, not necessarily a fail, but with it still being the school holidays for Jack, I've not done a lot of reading. So the books that I've told you about at the beginning of this vlog have taken me most of the week to read. I'm still in the middle of Fablehaven by Brandon Mull. I'm enjoying it, I'm just not getting the time. Last night I finished the London Seance Society by Sarah Penner. Stayed up far too late to finish it. It was very good at the ending. The only bugbear for me was that it's alternating points of view. So one chapter's one character, another chapter's another character. The only thing that bugged me slightly, it's a bit more of a me problem though, was that the male character mentioned that he had a birthmark on his face. And he thinks he looks hideous, and that especially women, will be repulsed by him. Now, I don't know if you can see, but here I have a birthmark. When I was younger, it was huge. It was like this big, and I was ruthlessly bullied for it. So for me, it's a touchy subject. It is crucial to the character build, though. So I let them off for that. For me, it's a 4-star. It's a spellbinding tale about 2 daring women who hunt for the truth and justice in the perilous art of conjuring the dead. In 1873, at an abandoned chateau on the outskirts of Paris, a dark séance is about to take place, led by acclaimed spiritualist Vaudeline Delaire, known worldwide for her talent in conjuring the spirits of murder victims to ascertain the identities of the people who killed them. She is highly sought after by widows and investigators alike. Lena Wicks has come to Paris to find answers about her sister's death, but to do so she must embrace the unknown and overcome her own logic-driven bias against the occult. So it follows Vaudeline and Lena, and it also follows, do you know what, I've actually forgotten his name, the gentleman with the birthmark. It follows his point of view, so we're alternating between their points of view on each chapters. So it follows them, and the twist at the end was so good that it kept me up until 2 a.m. So very tired today, but that's a reader's life for you. So yeah, so one book that I mentioned is finished. I have been reading shorter books, so I read about, it's probably my 5th book that I finished, 6th book actually that I finished this week. But the others have been quite quick, like middle grades, graphic novels, those sort of things. So I need to finish off Fablehaven. That is the book that I started in bed for the beginning of the FNAF readathon. And it's also the first book I chose for Adventurathon by K. Beth Bookish, which I will link in the description box down below. And then I need to choose what's next on my path. Annoyingly, I think the next one is a book that features an enchanted forest, which Fablehaven does. Luckily for me, I have about here, I think. Is it there? Or maybe over here. I have the rest of the series, so I can continue with that. Other readathons that I'm doing a yearly one, which is Bookemon, which is by, let me just find that. It's a year-long one. It's based off Pokemon. So you are capturing Bookemon, which are like Pokemon, and you read to get the items, which then you have 2 items, so you might have like a mouse and catnip, and then that gives you a certain Pokemon that wants those items. It is, who is the YouTuber? Professor Merb, I think. I'm not sure if that's the YouTuber's name. Anyway, I will link it down below because I can't find it right now. But that's a year-long event. There are your regular Pokemon that you already have. We have the silhouettes for. We have like a Pokédex sort of thing, like a Pokédex. I'll leave the silhouettes here so you can see it. And then we have seasonal ones, which run for about 3 months, I think. And then we have monthly ones as well. So that's a very fun thing to do. And I'm doing that along with Jack as well. So he's working his way towards those. He's already got more Pokemon than me, because there are non-reading prompts as well. Like there's read in bed, a bit like our FNAF readathon. There's also like take a picture of an animal or take a picture of a plant, those sort of things. So he's already done quite a lot of those. I disturbed somebody with my recording. How very dare I? It's a hard life, isn't it, Oz? hello, it's now Wednesday of the next week. So very late with this update. Unfortunately, life has happened. If you probably heard me saying earlier in the vlog about the floods that we've had here in the Midlands in the UK. Thankfully, we haven't had flooding in the house, but it has cut roads off, so I've not been able to get Jack into school for the new term, which coincidentally means that we're doing homeschooling, which doesn't go well. Nightmares of lockdown, no. So, yeah, so a couple of days of that, and then my partner's phone fell out of his pocket at work and got ran over, and that's part of my account, so I've been on the phone all day with O2, going around and around and around with customer services. So, yeah, stressed. Ugh. But anyway, so to update you, I said about London Silent Society, there's some other books I read as well, I think I've mentioned them, but I have finished Fablehaven by Brandon Mull. This one follows Kendra and her brother Seth. They they are left with their grandparents, mainly their grandfather, as their parents go on a holiday. And without giving too much away, they discover that their grandfather is a keeper of a magical, well, not a magical land, but a magical area. Fablehaven is a haven for fable creatures. So we're talking unicorns, fairies, satyrs, that sort of thing. Obviously, I don't want to spoil anything, but this is a very good book for a lesson of not breaking the rules. You know, rules are in place for a reason, which if you read this, you'll understand why. I loved the family dynamic. There were such strong bonds there. Sibling rivalry, obviously, because siblings very rarely ever get along. But they have to work together to solve the issue and to save their grandfather without obviously giving too much away. But yeah, that was a very, very good book. So I did finish that one, which was my first book for Read in Bed for Vernacolmusic, which is our readathon. It was also the first book I chose for adventurathon by K. Beth Bookish. That one was for to choose the table that you were going to sit with in a sort of build your own adventure, Dungeons and Dragons style readathon, where you are choosing which table you're going to sit with based on the vibe. So I chose the outdoorsy animal lovers, which then meant that I needed a book that fit that kind of vibe, which was obviously outdoorsy, nature. Fablehaven worked perfectly for that. Next, I'm moving on. You're allowed to move on to any other one, so you could just do the one book, or you could read one book to begin with and one book at the end, and that's your journey, or you can journey all around the map. We'll link it down in the description so you can see for yourself. But yeah, so I just need to choose another book, but I'm excited to continue with the series of Fablehaven. I've got some more over here. I think I've got the whole series, so yeah, so I'll continue with that. So yeah, so that's the update for my first vlog. Didn't quite go well as planned, but life, hey. So yeah, 2024 kicked off with a bang for me. Hopefully it's going better for yourself, and thank you very much for watching. Bye.